Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a while, but now I'm back with a very special project, the YouTube Knife Makers Challenge. This time it's a fantasy knife. 20 makers have to build a fantasy knife and you get to vote on the winner. First thing I'm going to do is clean up some steel and make some Damascus and get this project going. I'll reveal the project as we go along, but first, if you would, like and subscribe and don't forget to go vote. So let's get to it. Going to clean up some steel here. Got some 15N20 and 1084. I like to do it this way so I don't round the edges of individual pieces. Just comes out much better for me this way. Got two 4-foot bars. I'm going to cut them up into around 24 pieces. I probably don't have to do this, but I do it anyway. A little acetone and clean them up a little bit. With so many pieces, I like to do this, get everything very clean. When you got a stack this big, one little failure costs you about 70 bucks in steel. I'm just going to alternate the stack with 15N20, 1084, 1520, and 1084. Nothing special here. Get them lined up, get them even, take them over to the welder. I'm just going to fuse the ends with the TIG torch. Not going to use any filler. Not looking for integrity here. I'm just looking for something to hold them together while I make the forge weld. I'm going to add 2 pieces of sacrificial steel to the sides. Again, with this many layers, don't take any chances for oxygen to get in. Now I'm going to add a handle to it and she'll be ready to go. After a good soaking, she's ready to forge weld. Now I'm going to take the sacrificial plates off and finish forging it out. Looking good. Going to be making a long bar of C's so we can start making our W's. Get it cleaned up with my stone wheel, get it cut and restacked. Then we'll start making W's. Using a little kerosene. Okay, got the layer count I want with our W's. I'm going to cut it in half, flip it, and add a couple pieces of 1084 in the middle to get the pattern we're going after. Just got it fused together. We'll stick it in the forge and make a forge weld. I forgot to record the session where I was cutting up tiles, but that's what I'm doing now, is cleaning the tiles that I cut up at around 35 degrees and get them ready to forge weld our mosaic. I etched the ends of my bars, done the ferry flip. Now I'm lining them up to get them ready to forge weld on sacrificial plates. I'm using sacrificial plates here so I can get a good oxygen-free weld, and I'll grind those off. Start putting some shape into our blade. I'm not going to do too much forging on it, just shape it in the direction I want the point to go into. If not, we'll distort the pattern too much. Got our general shape. Now I'm going to do the profiling on it, get it ready to mill in our guard shoulders and heat treat it. Here I'm just using a giant file guide that I made to clamp the blade in so I can set it up in the mill. Now I'm going to do some thermal cycling, little grain refinement, and do the heat treat. Here I've got the blade in stainless foil to reduce oxidation while I'm doing the grain refining. Once I get ready to harden the blade, I'll take the stainless pouch off of the blade. I'm going to set the plunge line with 45-degree bevels, then I'll start the hollow grind. Looks good. I'll do some hand sanding, but I won't bore you with that. So I got a piece of wrought iron that I drew out in 2 flat bars and stuck a piece of 1084 in the center. So I'm going to make wrought iron sand my. This will be used for the guard and the pommel and pommel nut. Now I'm going to isolate the guard. Houston, we have a problem. So working on this guard, making it out of wrought iron sand mic. The core is 1084. It was supposed to look like this. What happened, I had everything drawn out, everything was perfect, everything was the right thickness. While I'm making this radius, I get a crack right here. Now I know working with wrought iron, you got to keep it hot. Apparently I didn't have it hot enough. I got a little too aggressive, so it broke. So in the interest of time, I'm going to modify it. I'm still going to have this hook up here. I'm going to try to draw this out here. It'll be shaped more like that. But you got to keep wrought iron very hot. And I got a little too aggressive, too ambitious, too much of a hurry, and it cost me. Anyway, we're going to have a modified guard. So let's get back to it. Time to shape the guard. Now I'm going to mill the guard slot. Ooh, that was close. We're in a tight spot. Now I'm going to hammer the guard on for a press fit. I'm about 3/1000 under. It's going to be a little tight. Looks pretty good. Now I'm going to cut some scallops on the front of the guard and cut little bevels on the hooks. I'm going to heat treat the guard using my forge. I want that 1084 to stand out when I etch it, hopefully to have some black tips on those hooks. Time to etch it. Gonna go ahead and put the logo on the blade and get it cleaned up and ready to etch. Moving on to the handle, gonna get it drilled out, start broaching, getting it ready to fit our tang. Now that's the sound I like to hear. Gonna get the outside profile cut out and start cleaning and shaping this handle. Here I'm making a pommel nut out of a piece of that wrought iron sand knife. Getting it ready to tap before I turn it down to the final dimension. Just drilling a hole for a 3/32 rod so I can tighten the pommel nut. I'm going to use the poor man's lathe trick to shape the pommel nut. I can do this a lot faster than setting it up in my lathe. I cut the tang to 3/16 and rounded it. Now I'm going to thread it for 10/32. The pommel is milled and counterbored to accept the pommel nut. Time to shape the pommel. Got it etched, now it's time to assemble the knife.